back to another edition of the Punchers Point. Oh man, we got some news for y'all, man. It's some crazy one. This one might make headlines in the hood, but you know what it is, though. Obviously, y'all know we was coming off the April 20th fight between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, which Ryan Garcia won majority decision. Now, it's been a few weeks after the fight, and it seems that Mr. Ryan Garcia has been very dirty. According to Vada and according to Mike Coppinger from ESPN, Ryan Garcia has popped dirty for Ostery and Naadrolum. Now, I got a bone to pick. When I say I got a bone to pick, I got a bone to pick. And y'all, breaking news, by the way, this will be our first ever podcast transitioned over to YouTube. So make sure y'all definitely tune in to the YouTube channel for sure. But I got a bone to pick. I'm so disappointed with Ryan Garcia, but I'm also disappointed with Mr. Tank Davis. I know y'all seen Tank Davis out here celebrating Ryan winning like he did it. Mr. A-side, right? Mr. You seen the contracts, right? That should have been you out there, right? What? See, this is my problem, right? People out here talking about some, oh, Ryan being set up by who? By who? Please, can somebody please tell me what does him being with Donald Trump have anything to do with him popping dirty? Because I swear on every pair of shoes in my closet, y'all would have not said a doggone thing had the shoe been on the other foot. Now, see, Tank, watch this, right? You came out here defending this. What I want you to remember too, Tank, is that you was the same dude during the lead up to y'all fight. You said, "Oh, he owned it. He like he owns something. Like he popping dirty for something." But now, since it happened to Devin, oh, they're trying to take the win from no. We're not gonna do that, Tank Davis. Oh yeah, you've been on and on and on and on and on. And look, I like Tank Davis, but I gotta call a spade a spade. You've been on and on and on and on Twitter, just Devin this, Devin that, Devin shoes, Devin nose, Devin ears, Devin AirPods. You just been Devin. You got a fight coming up. I'm just saying. Don't you sleep on Frank Martin. Focus on Frank Martin and stop worrying about Dev, because you could have sent Dev a contract. And as far as Ryan Garcia, you popping dirty, you need to be punished. I keep the same energy with every single fighter that popped dirty. And the fact, and I just seen somewhere it said that it confirmed that you tested positive for the second PED. What's really going on? He got to be punished, man. Simple as that. But and I'm sick of people who look like me. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. Say what y'all. I'm gonna go there. I'm sick of people looking just like me. Devin the bum, Devin and Trey. Y'all are sitting right here backing a cheater. And look, I'm not saying right here saying that Devin lost because of wait. Look, I'm a firm believer in drugs, and I felt like Devin just brought the wrong game plan, but we not finna let this slide. You ain't finna just let this slide like this Crisco and butter. Hell no. I'm gonna pass over you, Mark. I'm gonna go on all night.
I think we might have two different views on it. Now, what I'm not saying is, I am not saying that Ryan Garcia, there's no way he didn't take any steroids. That ain't what I'm saying. What I am saying, no, the only thing that's very fishy to me, Ryan Garcia's mom posted 4 photos of drug tests that he got prior to the fight that were all tested negative. And then after he beat Devin Haney, the positive test came up. Now, here's what I will say. Does it mean that Ryan Garcia took a needle, popped it up his ass, and put some insulin or steroids into his body? No. Am I saying that he took a pill and he swallowed it? No. That may be what he did. That's not out of the equation. But what I will say is we've talked about this many different times when fighters have tested positive for steroids. Floyd Mayweather said it best. Half these fighters don't even know what they're putting into their body. Canelo Alvarez got caught with steroids a few years back, or PEDs, excuse me. He blamed it on the meat. Alicia Baumgardner denied the allegations. Robert Helenius recently denied the allegations. A lot of fighters are denying allegations of steroids. Ryan Garcia has denied allegations of steroids. Yes, he's joked about it on X or Twitter, call it what you want, but he's denied those allegations as well. He said, I don't even know where to find the steroid. Golden Boy, they're saying that he's denied this on multiple occasions and they believe him. Now, funny thing enough, when you test positive for steroids, you have 10 days to get a B sample in. I'm not sure how that works, but what I will say is that the drug testing, regardless in boxing, whether somebody tests positive or negative, or whether they did it intentionally or unintentionally, has to change. It has to change because both of these drug administrations, all these drug administrations, I mean, you think about Vada, USADA, all of them, they all gotta do something, man. Because I'm starting to think there's some fishy stuff going on behind the scenes, not just in the Ryan Garcia case, but in the many others. I'm not saying Ryan didn't cheat. I'm not saying he did cheat. I can't say. I will say this: if he did cheat, if he did intentionally inject himself with steroids, take a steroid pill, if he intentionally took steroids, I got the same energy as Breezy. Yeah, punish him. Because again, I do believe that steroids as a performance enhancement drug, regardless of whatever you want to think about it, it definitely has a factor. People are saying, oh, this is the Haney's basically trying to get this loss off of their record. Look, here's what I will say. I don't agree with that either. And honestly, if I'm Devin, I'd be pissed too. Look, I haven't agreed with Devin on many things in his career, but I will say this: if I'm an opponent that just got beat, I got beat pretty badly. I got embarrassed on a main stage. If I'm that opponent and I find out that my opponent potentially took steroids and tested positive for steroids, yeah, I'd be pissed too. So he has a right to be pissed. What I don't like about fans is that they're still trying to find stuff. They're still trying to find ways to justify this win. They're still trying to find ways to kind of slide it under the rug. All I'm going to say is that why would you announce this after? Now, I get it. I understand. They're going to say, oh, well, because that's just the way the tests work. Don't do that. What you should do, honestly, is give yourself enough. Here's the thing. You want to know what amazes me, Breezy? We have COVID tests that can tell you whether or not you have COVID within the first 15 minutes. You're going to tell me that as far as steroids have been used, for as long as PEDs have been used, you're going to tell me we don't have a test that can test steroids for less than 24 hours? Come on. I mean, we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? These drug companies, they got to do better to test these athletes to make sure they're clean or not. But you know what, Breezy? I know you're itching to get another word in, so I'm gonna pass it on to you for a little bit.
What kills me the most is like, I will understand that had he not been so freaking careless to the buildup of the fight. That's what makes it like that. Like, y'all understand, I'm a fair dude. I like to keep it cordial. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's kind of hard to when you smoking and drinking do the lead up, you come in and you missing weight, and then people talking about some, oh, Team Haney trying to get the elbow. First of all, Devin Haney and Bill Haney and Team Haney did not come out and say that. Vada came out and said that. So for people to try to sway that on Team Haney, that's some BS. Because here's the thing, it wasn't just Ryan that took the test. Devin took the exact same test as Ryan. So for people trying to sway that, oh, talking about some, oh, that's Bill pulling strings and oh, they working with Victor Conte. So let's remember the timeline of events, right? Can any of them same people that is doing that show me one instinct where Devin Haney popped for any kind of drug at all? And if you can, I will come right here and have the same energy. But if you can't show me any kind of proof of Haney popping dirty or failing a drug test, I ain't trying to hear that bull. I think what has gotten to the point is, I think because of some people's disdain for Bill Haney, I guess Devin losing was one of the best things to them. And it didn't matter if it was a fair loss. It didn't matter if he came overweight. It didn't matter if he had PEDs, and it didn't matter. The whole thing for some of, not all of them, but some of them, a good portion of them, was that as long as Haney lost, that's good for us. And it just show you how crucial this game is. But all that, he ain't trying to do this, ain't trying to do that. Man, look, for the most part, Haney was silent. If we're gonna really be technical, he just came out, maybe a few days ago up to now, and just started talking. For the most part, Haney was silent while the haters was talking, while Ryan was still clowning him. Tank was clowning him. For the most part, Haney was silent. So that's what I'm saying. To me, it feel like it's deeper than just, oh, Haney doing it. I think it is more so of a disdain towards him. And for people to be like, well, I don't like Devin Haney because of Bill. No, why do you dislike Devin Haney? And I'm not talking about anybody that keeps it fair, I'm asking people a genuine question. Take Bill out of the equation. What has Devin Haney done?
Coming in hot with the YouTube debut, which, by the way, for y'all who are just finding us on YouTube, make sure you guys continue to stay on point with the Puncher's Point. Trust me, you're going to be hearing that a lot from now on, okay? Let me explain, okay? The way I look at it is this. I'm not the biggest Bill Haney fan. I don't dislike Devin Haney. As a matter of fact, as far as a boxer, I got a lot of respect for Devin Haney. I have a lot of respect for Devin Haney. I will say this. Devin Haney is probably the most disciplined boxer in today's game. I mean, we're talking about a guy who never misses weight, never, no matter what the circumstances are, always shows up. We're talking about a guy who doesn't lay down for nothing, and a lot of people, they do have unnecessary hate for Devin Haney. Do I think sometimes he could be corny? 100%. I'm not going to lie about that. But what I will say is this. Do I agree with Devin Haney saying that the 3 pounds had a big difference? No, especially now, considering the fact that we found out that Devin Haney weighed more in that fight than Ryan Garcia. That's just a fact. So now he can't even use that. The truth is, Devin Haney lost point blank, period. But with these new results for steroids coming out, or PEDs, call it what you want, now you actually got to start asking yourselves these questions. Enough of the Devin Haney hate and enough of the Ryan Garcia love. It's crazy how boxing works, because there's 1 second that they love you and there's another second that they will just turn on you. And we've seen that. This is a perfect example. The Devin Haney fight, Ryan Garcia fight. It just seemed like as the fight was building up, a lot of people started leaning towards Ryan. And now since Ryan won, everybody loves him. Not 3 months ago, y'all were hating on him. So we know how this game works. But I will say this. It's not about who you love and it's not about who you hate. It's about being fair. So when you see a guy tested positive for PEDs, I'm not saying you got to believe it or not. But what I am saying is you have to understand that regardless of who it is, there's no excuse for that. If Ryan intentionally took PEDs, shame on him. I'd give you the same energy that Breezy is giving you right now. Shame on him. The reason why I'm not giving you that same energy is because I'm not quite sure. Every single time a fighter tests positive for PEDs, I don't know whether they intentionally or unintentionally did it. Now, if he unintentionally did it, not just for boxers, but all athletes in general, you need to understand what you're putting into your body. That's the reality of it. You need to understand what you're putting into your body. You got to understand that as a boxer, you need to be disciplined. You need to hire the right people to help you out with this. Now, as a fighter, if I didn't take PEDs and then I find out I tested positive, I'd be pretty concerned. I'd be like, well, what could it have possibly been if I didn't intentionally take steroids? What could it have possibly been? So you got to start thinking about that. And they said, Golden Boy Promotions, they said that they've had talks with Ryan to try to figure out what exactly it may have been. No conclusion has came to that yet. So maybe we'll find out. Maybe Ryan will tell us what it might be, And regardless of whether he tells us or not, there's going to be people who believe him. There's going to be people who don't. But what I will say that is this was a great win from Ryan. And I feel like if he intentionally did this, there's going to be an asterisk around that win. And I don't think fans are understanding that. And as far as Devin Haney, I'd be pretty pissed too if I was Devin Haney. If I found out that the opponent that I just fought, that I suffered my first career loss to, was taking PEDs or got tested positive for PEDs, I'd be pretty upset as well. The point is, guys, you got to keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? You guys were trashing Alicia Baumgartner when she tested positive. You guys were trashing Robert Helenius. You guys have been trashing a lot of fighters who have tested positive for PEDs, and all of a sudden Ryan takes it, and then everybody's just quiet. Now, I will say this: Breezy gave a very strong message to Tank Davis. I will say that Tank Davis did DM Ryan Garcia and said, "If I find out that you're lying, I'm gonna beat your ass." So he truly believes Ryan didn't take no PEDs, but he said if he finds out, he's gonna beat his ass. And then Ryan told him, "Well, if you want to fight, we can have a real fight, right? We can have a real fight. We can set that up." But that's all chit chat right there. All I'm saying is Tank Davis.
Focus on Frank the Ghost Martin.
Another great message. All I'm gonna say is this. All right, Tank, this ain't even your business. All right, everybody at this point is calling him the Twitter champ. This ain't his business. You know what I'm saying? This is a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Haney Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, DAZN, Vada. That's who's involved in this. Tank, you ain't got to say in this. I'm just saying. All I'm gonna say is I hope that this was something unintentional. I hope that it wasn't Ryan testing positive for steroids. I hope that it wasn't anything intentional that Ryan did to get the edge. And Breezy made a great point earlier. He was very careless, drinking a lot during this build up to this fight. Now, I will say, I do believe he trained his ass off. I do believe he trained his ass off and he studied for this fight very, very well, because you don't beat Devin Haney just by pure skill. I don't believe that. I believe he truly did push himself. He truly did train, and he truly did study enough to where he could beat Devin Haney. But I will also say that I think fans need to start looking at the situation that's going on, and they need to understand that you have to kind of put the pieces together, and you got to draw your own conclusion based off of fairness. Now, I'm going to keep the same energy with this too, and this is going to be my last point. His mom posted 4 drug tests that he took prior to that fight. All of them test negative. Now, all of a sudden, there's a positive one. I'm just saying that's fishy. She posted on Instagram 4 different drug tests where he tested negative. And then right after this win comes, 2 positive. Sounds a little fishy in my opinion. I'm not saying there's some fishy things or that Vada's doing stuff, but I'm just saying that's pretty fishy. I'm not saying it's the Haneys, but I'm saying this right now. Vada, USADA, all these drug companies, y'all got to upgrade your system. Okay, we not living in the early 2000s. We're not living in 1990s, no more 80s, 70s. We ain't doing that. We are in 2024, where you can find out if you have COVID within 15 minutes. You should be able to find out whether a steroid is in a fighter's systems or a fighter's body in less than 24 hours. And in my opinion, you want to know what my opinion would be? If you do find a PED in their system before the fight, that fight's getting canceled. I hate to say it to the fans, but that fight's getting canceled. Or you leave it up to Devin Haney, or in this specific case, hey, he tested positive. Do you want to fight him? Or something like that. All I'm saying is this: I don't have the answers. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a proposal. These are just ideas. You might agree with them. You might disagree with them, which, by the way, in the comments, if you agree or disagree, make sure you type them in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We got a YouTube channel now. That's what that's for. But I do think that these drug companies got to do a better job. They have to do a better job at deciphering whether or not the results are true. And they got to do a better job of getting this news and getting these results on time before a big fight like this happens. You got something to add, Breezy?
One more message. You can't eat everybody cornbread. Everybody cornbread ain't natural. I don't know what it is you ate. I don't know what snacks you ate. I don't know what drinks you ate. I'm just gonna say, if it's cornbread, because that's one of the most famous side little dishes. Where you can't eat everybody cornbread. Simple as that.
Did say that unless tequila has PEDs in it, then he don't remember. He didn't take nothing.
Like I said, you can't eat everybody cornbread. But like I said, I feel like he was just living too. I feel like he is something. He was living so carelessly that he took something and he didn't really think about it, and it got in his system. That's how I see it. But at the same time, this is why I say, I don't care what kind of opponent you have. And when you in this boxing game, it's live or die. Fighters die in that ring. You gotta know what you taking And you got to be able to understand and evaluate the situation with the fighter you dealing with, because this is boxing. One punch can change everything. How the hell we don't know if Devin would have died that night? That's what I'm saying. The fact, just how he overall acted throughout the whole build-up, that's why I say, like, even if he came out, oh, I didn't do it, it's hard to believe him. And I get it. I get it and whatnot, but at the same time, it's hard to believe because it's like, damn, bro, you went through this whole fight, Bill, just acting like carelessly. That's what I'm saying. You gotta take this sport serious. You can play basketball. You can play with relationships. You can play in traffic. But man, you can't play boxing.
I'm just saying we don't encourage that you play in your relationship. We are very loyal men.
Do what you want to do. That's between you, your woman, and the Lord. Do what you want to do. I'm just making an example. You can't play boxing.
The only thing that I would say, it's not really a rebuttal. I wouldn't even say it's a counter. The only thing I would say is life-threatening might be a little bit too far. Look, PEDs, they give you that adrenaline boost. They build up your testosterone, which means you basically have more energy, you got more strength to do what you need to do. Is it definitely a competitive advantage? 100%. It's 100% a
life-threatening to the other fighter.
Right, but even to the other fighter, I mean, it's not like you're going to pop a steroid and you're going to turn to Ivan Drago. There is something called roid rage, which means all of a sudden something happens, fighter gets pissed, all of a sudden something goes completely above the level that it should have went. Lines get crossed even more than what they were. So I do believe that the only idea I would have is if you find out that a fighter tests positive for a PED before a fight, you leave it up to the other fighter whether or not you want to have this fight. And again, by the way, they also have backups. They also have guys who are going to step in if something happens. So what I would say is, if you find out, leave it to the other fighter. Say, hey, look, do you want to have this fight? And on top of that, let it be known that if you fight and you got tested positive for PEDs, it's going to be a no contest on your resume. Whether you win or lose, you're not getting that win. That's what it should. That's what some of the punishment should be. A loss in the salary. There should be a lot more strict punishments, suspensions after that fight if you choose to have it. Again, these are just ideas. I'm just brainstorming. I'm just spitballing ideas. But all I'm saying is
did it with Keyshawn, right?
So I don't
yeah,
know.
Man.
Maybe you got credit for a win. I don't know. Y'all in the comments, if you know, please type it down below. We're actually pretty curious.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like they need to make punishments to the point where bosses be like, yeah, I gotta watch what I take. I can't go in there like this. Make punishments to where like they think like, man, I ain't trying to do with that. Like, man, come on, boxing. Y'all need to do better than this. I respect about UFC fans and UFC. If there's a drug cheap, they ain't going for that. But boxing, oh yeah, y'all gonna get y'all pom-poms out. Y'all gonna get y'all little skirts on and y'all gonna cheer. Yeah, y'all gonna get y'all little pom-poms and y'all little skirts on and have a little field day with it. Yeah, I know.
I could already see Susan from YouTube already restricting us. All right. Look, what I'm gonna say is I agree. There should be stricter punishments so that not only fighters don't intentionally take it, but that they don't unintentionally take it, so that they actually take it more seriously. They take their body more seriously. There was an MLB player, Fernando Tatis Jr. He had ringworm. He took a medication that had a very tiny PED, so tiny to the point where it would have no effect. Why don't you take a guess, Breezy, and how long he got suspended?
Whole year.
Pretty close. He got suspended the season. He got suspended for the remainder of the season, plus the half for the next. Just for a minor PED that he unintentionally took. His own mom posted pictures of the ringworm that he had. So it was proven that he didn't intentionally take it. But that's what I mean. Use those punishments in boxing, and they won't take it.
See, because I feel like even if you don't mean to do it, like I feel like now people gonna start popping up. They're gonna be like, well, see, it was on accident. So that's what I'm saying. Even if it is unintentional, you still gotta have that kind of punishment, because if somebody pop dirty in boxing, then they could just be like, well, I thought it was this. I thought it was that. You know,
okay.
I took my drug, you know.
And to that, I say find proof. Let's see some proof. Again, that guy tested positive. He said he had ringworm. The mom showed pictures of the ringworm that he had. Physically, it was on him. So he had proof that he had ringworm. Ryan Garcia, even his mom posted 4 drug tests that said he was negative. I'm not saying that he didn't take them, but what I am saying is if you're going to come with that, again, like a court case, if you're going to prove your innocence, you have to have proof. You can't just say it. It's as simple as that. So overall, we're going to see what comes about with this whole situation, whether or not Ryan Garcia gets punished, whether or not he has like a reason as to what he took or what it could have been that tested positive, whether he admits it maybe, and I just recently I recently read that Devin Haney isn't even really pursuing a rematch with Ryan Garcia no more. So it seems like this might be the last chapter in the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney story. Maybe. You never know. Again, you never know what could happen in boxing. Anything could happen in boxing, but obviously with the way fights are being made in today, I don't see it happening again. But regardless, the main points that you should take away from this episode: drug companies, do better. Fighters, be careful with what you're putting into your body. And again, intentionally cheating should not be allowed in boxing without repercussions. Those are the 3 points I'm trying to make. And last but not least, if this is not your situation, butt out of it. Take Davis.
Take Davis.
People had to say, I'm sorry. Something must be.
I got a little off my bad, y'all. I ain't
dust.
Martin. Just I can't help myself.
Dust. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, summer coming, pollen. We're still in the spring.
Yeah, man. It's bad out here.
With that said, make sure y'all tune into the Punchers Point. Again, we have a podcast. We are on all podcast platforms. You want us on social media? We got Instagram. We got X or Twitter. We got Threads. We have a YouTube channel now. Make sure you guys hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Message us on X, Instagram, Threads. I don't care. Email. If you want our email, thepuncherspoint@gmail.com. Make sure y'all hit us up because look, I'm gonna say this right now. Our goal for this podcast is not to have 1 million viewers. It would be great. It would be cool. It's not to have 1 million viewers. It's to build a community. We've said that from day one. We already have 130 plus episodes on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, whatever you want to call it, whatever you decide to type into your phone to get the podcast. Make sure you guys continue to tune into the Puncher's Point, and you're going to be hearing this a lot. I'm sorry that you have to look at me if you don't think I'm good looking. I'm sorry if you think I'm ugly.
I'm good looking. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. If your girlfriend around, she's gonna have to deal with it. Your mama around, she's gonna have to deal with it. I look good. This chocolate is all. I'm gonna always be on here, so deal with it. I look good.
Facts. And you know what? If they're around, you tell them this message right here. Make sure you stay on point with the Puncher's Point.